Mate, it's not my fault that you're calling last orders half an hour early just because the booze is empty. My money's as green as everyone else's, you know. So I'm going to have this last one and I'm staying until the door closes. What it says, 12 o'clock, I'll be staying till then. I just remembered why I said I'm not coming here again.
Beware the moon.
Anyway, ignore him. For last orders today, this is what I'm going to be having. St. Peter's Golden Ale, light caramel aromas with a latte bitterness. Now that sounds interesting. I've never had this St. Peter's brand before. I've never even heard of it, I'm totally honest. But the thing that attracted me to it was the shape of this bottle. Like, it's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? It looks like an old sort of like medicine type bottle. Ignore all that. It's been out the fridge. Well, it's been in the fridge for a couple of days, but I took it out about 10-15 minutes ago. So it's still very cold. But there's an old wives' tale that you should let... Well, actually, I have just bought a perfect draft machine for anyone who knows what they are. It's basically you can put kegs inside there and then pour legit beers. But Perfect Draft, I've got an app on the phone and basically it shows you all the kegs. You can order them, they'll get delivered to your door. And then you can sort of leave like a rating out of 5 stars, what you think of that keg, and you can test them all. Deals on there. Believe it or not, they're not sponsoring me, although they should after that speech. But, long story short, in the description, it tells you, like, what temperature you should keep the beer or the ale at. Like, because apparently, like, some are, like, 3 degrees, some are better drank at, like, 5 or 6 degrees. But the old wives' tale is, apparently, the warmer it gets, the more flavours are sort of let out. The way that someone left a comment, actually, on one of the last videos, and they said, like, why do you let it go warm? And my response was basically that, like, because the way I sort of see it, like, when you freeze food, you know, you got to let it, you know, defrost. And then once it's defrosted, all the flavour comes out, as well as it obviously softening up. But you know what I'm getting at. And I think it might be the same with ale. The colder it gets, like if you were to freeze it, the flavour's probably not going to be in there, is it? So I'm assuming the colder it gets, the closer you get to freezing, if that makes any sense. But anyway, don't go and tell all your mates, because that could be a load of nonsense. But without further ado, let's crack this pappy open. I'm going to pour it in a glass as always. Ooh, nice golden colour going on. Okay, not much of a whitehead going on. I'll leave that there just so you can see the bottle. Have a look at that, guys. So, I'd say like half a finger whitehead. Nothing major. The carbonation doesn't look like it's got any, but what was it we had? The Iron Maiden, was it called Trooper? That didn't look like it had any combination, but then you drank it and it did. What aromas are we getting off this pappy anyway? Oh, that smells good. That smells real good. Do you know, this is the first one I've done so far that I can smell something other than just a distinctive beer coming through. Like, I can tell there's something else in there. And according to this bottle, light caramel aromas with latte bitterness. Can I smell caramel? Is that what I'm truly getting? If I'm being honest, no. I'm not smelling caramel. Like, if I was to get some chocolate, dairy milk, caramel, bite it in half, and then you got all the caramel, and you smell it, you know what caramel smells like. That's not what I'm smelling. But maybe that's because it's got beer in there as well. Obviously, malt, barley, what is it? Yeah, malted barley. So maybe it's just like sort of semi-covering it, or the blend of the two. That's what I'm getting. Because there's nothing distinctive about the smell where I can sort of compare it to something that you're going to be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what that smells like. Because it's sort of a smell of its own. And it does smell good. It's quite cloudy. It's quite a cloudy beer. I don't know what that means. Or ale. We have got a little bit of history on this St. Peter's company that we'll have a little read. But first I want a little taste, because what I've noticed is you have your first taste and you have that initial, oh, what's going on? But then as you dig a little deeper, the taste can change a bit. So let's just have this first one. Cheers, guys. Okay. That tastes good for starters. I don't want to say anything until, because what I'm realizing with ales recently is it's almost like you get the initial flavour, but then sometimes there's like an aftermath flavour that comes through, and that's why I'm sort of just letting it roll over my tongue, breathe in and out, let the fumes and the flavours come through. And there was a bit of a change. I'm getting bitterness coming through right now from the back. So not necessarily a flavour, just like a bitterness experience. Kind of like, if anyone has watched the, what was that beer that had like elderflower in it? I think it was Golden Champion, it was called, from the Badger family of ales. And that sort of did the same thing. And I was, at the time, putting that down to the elderflower. But maybe that's just like a bitterness coming through. But let's dig in again. Okay. It's sort of metallic-y, I want to say. Like, on that same episode, I was like, have I cut my lip? Am I bleeding? Because I can taste blood, like iron. I'm getting very similar vibes with this. And the carbonation levels are actually very low as well on this. Very low. There's not a distinctive aftermath flavour coming through or anything like that. I wouldn't say it was malty. Just very metallic-y. That's what I'm getting. Let me read you a little bit of history, and let me see if this starts, you know, growing on me as we're going. So, basically, the St. Peter's brewery itself was founded in 1996 by branding expert John Murphy in the village of St. Peter, South Elmham, which is in Suffolk. Situated beside St. Peter's Hall, the brewery made use of former agriculture buildings and began bottling in 1997. That's odd. So the brewery itself was founded in 1996, but they didn't start brewing ales till the following year. So unless it was sort of like late on in the year that they bought the building, or the created the brewery, and then it was like early on in the year of 1997 that they started bottling. Because as far as I'm concerned, when you're starting a business, you want to get open as quickly as possible, don't you? Start making money. But then there might be more history to it than that. Maybe, I don't know, but I haven't got the information here, put it that way. Anyway, from early on, the brewery emphasised distinctive branding and packaging. Their signature 500ml bottle is an oval-shaped bottle derived from an 18th century gin bottle found near Philadelphia, making the product visually distinctive. No way, because I said right at the beginning, the thing that caught my eye was the bottle itself, but I put the bottle down to being like an old medicine like bottle, you know what I mean? But imagine something a bit smaller, but cool nonetheless. Philadelphia, though, that's pretty cool. An exact launch year solely for the golden ale variant can't be found. However, documentation of it as part of the brewery's traditional range appears by at least the late 2000s. A review from 2009 gives it its specification as ABV 4.7%. Oh, right, yeah. So this particular ale is 4.7%. That light's a bit bright, but it does say it somewhere around there. ABV. The beer is described as using English pale malts together with Challenger and golden hops, producing a light golden colour, caramel aromas, toffee apple flavour, and a later bitterness, which it does. I was just saying, there's a bitterness that's just resonating, and I put that down to the elderflower, but maybe that's a hops thing. And this is mentioned that it's got golden hops in it, which I'm sure the Badger Golden Champion also had them hops, so maybe I will have to have a look and see what golden hops are, because I don't know what they are, but maybe that gives it an extra bitterness, because what are the odds of both of them having the same hops in and both producing a strong bitterness? Anyway, toffee apple flavour as well. Am I getting that? Unless toffee apples taste like metal. Just overwhelming bitterness. Overwhelming. Over the years, Golden Ale has become one of the core beers in the brewery's bottled and cask range, alongside other classics. It has also achieved recognition in international beer competitions. For example, it won a gold medal at the 2024 European Beer Challenge. Today, the Golden Ale remains at ABV 4.7% and is available in 500ml bottles, as well as casks and keg formats, and is marketed internationally. So if you're watching this from somewhere else, like I know there's a few Americans, you might have this in America, or if you're watching from anywhere else, because apparently it's international. But let's get down to the nitty gritty. Do I recommend you go and try it? I wouldn't say no, but I'd say go and try it if you like a bitter, and I mean bitter ale. Pardon me, with low carbonation. It's like now my bitter glands have opened. they're just, the second I taste it now, I'm just getting bitter from the second it goes in my mouth. Whereas the initial drink, it took like a while for the bitterness to kick in. But my bitterness glands are just being receptive now, and they're just like, bro, please stop putting that in my mouth. There's nothing about this ale that stands out for me. However, we have got another one which I'm about to review, and it's also from the St. Peter's family. So I'm going to put this to the side and we're going to compare the two. But if you've tried this before, let me know in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button, it helps. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. And remember, beware the moon, lads.
Beware the moon.